Ladies, brace yourself, because what I'm about to tell you will completely shatter the Disney princess fantasy you've been fed since childhood. You know, that idea of being the perfect woman, flawless skin, always calm, always supportive, never wrong, never messy. Yeah, men don't marry her. In fact, she doesn't even exist outside of Instagram filters and pharmaceutical company ads. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Men don't tie the knot with a so-called perfect woman. They marry a very specific type of woman. And if you think it's the most beautiful, the most educated, or the most Instagram worthy, oh no, you're about to be very, very surprised. So grab your tea, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why perfection is actually the fastest way to get ghosted, while this other quality is what makes them think, yep, she's the one. Why men avoid perfect women. Let's start with this. Perfect women are intimidating, not because men are weak, but because perfection feels fake. Think about it. If you've ever met someone who seemed too good to be true, your gut instantly told you something's off. Perfection makes men feel like they're on a job interview, not in a relationship. Every date becomes an exam, every conversation a test. Did I say the right thing? Am I charming enough? Did she notice I forgot the difference between Pinot Noir and Pinot Grigio? Men don't want a partner who makes them feel like they're under constant performance review. They want someone who feels real, someone who laughs when life gets messy, someone who can eat tacos without pulling out a ring light and saying, wait, let me get the perfect angle. And here's a kicker. The so-called perfect woman often hides flaws, emotions, or struggles to keep up the illusion. Men sense this, and it makes them think, if she can't be real with me, how can I trust her with forever? The woman men actually marry. So who do men actually choose? Not Miss Perfect, not the woman who checks every box on some idealized checklist. Men marry the woman who makes them feel at home. And no, at home doesn't mean she folds his socks by color code. It means she creates an atmosphere where he can exhale, where he doesn't have to pretend to be Superman, where he doesn't get penalized for showing weakness, where he can laugh like an idiot and still feel respected. Men marry the woman who makes real life feel better, not harder. That's the secret. She's not flawless, but she's consistent. She's not a trophy, but she's trustworthy. She doesn't pretend to have it all together. She invites him into the mess, and ironically, that's what men find more attractive than the illusion of perfection. A woman who is safe, but also alive. The psychology behind it. Let's put on our psychology glasses for a second. Men grow up being told they have to provide, protect, and perform. By the time they're adults, most men secretly feel like they're one bad decision away from being exposed as frauds. Yes, even the confident ones. So when a man is choosing a wife, he's not looking for perfection, he's looking for psychological safety. The type of woman who makes his nervous system relax instead of going into fight or flight. Think about it. If every time he's with you, he feels judged, pressured, or compared, his brain links you with stress. But if every time he's with you, he feels understood, valued, and accepted, even when he's at his worst, his brain links you with home. And guess what? People marry home, not high maintenance. Now, don't get it twisted. Safe doesn't mean boring. Men don't want a partner who's about as exciting as a damp towel. What they crave is the balance. Safe enough to trust, but vibrant enough to keep him curious. Why being perfect is exhausting. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Perfection is exhausting for both of you. For you, it means constantly editing yourself, never relaxing, always calculating your every move like you're playing emotional chess. For him, it means he feels like he can never measure up. He'll think, if she's flawless, what does she see in me? She'll probably leave me the second she realizes I'm not perfect. It creates insecurity instead of intimacy. The irony, the very thing women think will make them marriage material, perfection, is the exact thing that pushes men away. Because marriage isn't about flawless performances. It's about two imperfect people saying life is messy, but let's be messy together. The type men actually commit to. All right, let's rip the band-aid off. Men don't marry the perfect woman. They marry the woman who makes them feel three things: seen, safe, and inspired. Sounds simple, but watch how this flips the whole game. one. Seen. Not the Instagram version of him, not the provider version, but the raw, unshaven, hasn't done laundry in 2 weeks version. The woman who sees him, his quirks, his flaws, his dad jokes that aren't even funny, and doesn't roll her eyes, but actually leans in. 2. Safe. She's not a walking judgment machine. She doesn't make him feel like he has to prove himself every 5 minutes. She's steady. She has his back. And let me tell you, when a man finds a woman who can handle his bad day version without starting a world war, yeah, that's wifey material. 3. Inspired. Here's where women underestimate themselves. Men don't want a cheerleader who claps at everything like a broken applause button. They want a woman who inspires him to be better without nagging, who makes him think, damn, I've got to level up because she deserves the best of me. That's the type. Not perfect, not Barbie, not Miss 4.0 GPA with abs. The woman who balances those 3 things. The traits that seal the deal. Let's break this down into traits that actually flip the switch from she's fun to she's forever. 1. Emotional honesty. Men marry the woman who doesn't weaponize her feelings. She's honest but not explosive. She can say that hurt me without throwing a kitchen chair across the room. Emotional honesty builds trust, and trust is the foundation of commitment. 2. Playfulness. You want to know why men light up around certain women? Playfulness. She doesn't take life or herself too seriously. She can laugh at dumb jokes, start a random pillow fight, or dance in the kitchen at 2 a.m. That's the stuff men remember when they're thinking, can I do forever with her? 3. Respect in the small things. Here's the quiet one nobody talks about. Men notice when you respect the small things. How you talk to him in front of others. How you respond when he makes mistakes. Whether you dismiss his ideas or give them a fair shot. Respect is like oxygen. Without it, the relationship suffocates. 4. Growth mindset. A man will commit to a woman who's growing emotionally, mentally, spiritually, not perfect, but in motion, because he knows that means the relationship will never get stuck in a loop of recycled arguments and reruns of, remember when you did that thing in 2017? 5. The ability to be both soft and strong. Men don't want perfectly soft or perfectly strong. They crave the paradox, a woman who can be nurturing when he needs comfort, but also strong when life throws a curveball. That duality makes a man feel like we can handle anything together. The psychology of why this works. Let's get nerdy for a second. In psychology, there's something called the attachment bond. It's not about who's prettiest or who has the highest IQ. It's about who your nervous system feels safe around. Men commit to the woman who becomes their secure base, the one who regulates his stress instead of adding to it. That's why so many men marry the woman who's not the hottest they've dated, but the one who makes them feel calm, respected, and alive. It's not logical, it's biological. His brain is literally wired to choose safety and connection over surface level perfection. The myth of better options. And here's where women panic. But what if he finds someone prettier, smarter, more perfect than me? Relax, he probably will. There will always be someone prettier. Always someone younger. Always someone with a shinier Instagram filter. But here's the thing. Men that don't marry the best option on paper, they marry the woman who feels irreplaceable. And you don't feel irreplaceable because you're perfect. You feel irreplaceable because you're real. And he can't imagine facing life's chaos without you by his side. The big reveal. So let's say it clearly, once and for all. Men don't marry the perfect woman. They marry the woman who makes their life feel better, not harder. The woman who's imperfectly real instead of perfectly fake. The woman who sees him, makes him feel safe, and inspires him to grow. That's the type. And once you understand this, you stop exhausting yourself trying to be flawless and start focusing on being authentic, consistent, and alive. Because guess what? That's what men fall in love with. That's what men commit to. And that's what makes them say the words women actually want to hear. I choose you for life. So the next time someone tells you to be the perfect woman, just laugh. Perfection is overrated. Realness is irresistible. Thanks for watching.